Hi there, this is Jen, and thanks so much for joining me today. Today I'm participating in a hop, and it's called Under the Sea Hop. This is a 3-day hop, so there will be a new video for every day of the hop. And to check out all the participants, use the hashtag, and the hashtag for today is hashtag Thursday Under the Sea, and it will be Friday Under the Sea and Saturday Under the Sea for the rest of the days. I'm going to use this stamp from Pink Ink Designs. It is called Mermaid. It is a huge stamp, and so I decided to fit it on a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card that I would just use the mermaid tail. So I've gone ahead and stamped up my image with some VersaFine ink and heat embossed some Wow metallic silver embossing powder. And I have taped down my cardstock to this little clipboard with some painter's tape. I am using some Canson XL watercolor paper. And to color the mermaid tail, I'm using the Caron Brush Marker Pro, and the colors that I'm using are turquoise and lush green. So those are the main colors. I do use several others for the tail. But to start out, I have just added the colors around that area that would be darker, and I am pulling the color towards the center where there would be a highlight. And then I'm just bringing that color up to the tail and just spreading that color out, so anything that peeks through would be the highlight. And then I believe this is a lilac, and so I'm just going to add the lilac, and then I will wet my brush and spread that color out. And I will continue to add color to the tail and spread that out. At the end, after the watercolor has dried, I go in with some colored pencils. But I wanted to go ahead and talk real quick about the hop. So again, this is a hashtag driven hop, which means that if you just click on the hashtag for each day, that will bring you a list of videos for all of the participants. I believe there are also some on Instagram as well. And this hop was organized by Teresa Russell, who is the owner of Scrapping for Less. And the hop was organized through the Facebook group Handmade Happiness. And that group is an awesome supportive group of crafters and card makers. And they organize a lot of different events, such as hops and just fun things to do. And so I will leave links for that information below in case you're interested in joining that Facebook group. So after I finish coloring the tail, I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut the tail out. The image had a lot of like tendrils and stuff like that, and I just didn't worry about trying to cut those little pieces off, so they got chopped off, and it's just the tail pretty much. And so I'm going to create a little ocean scene, and I didn't want the entire card to be filled with color, and so I'm masking off several areas. The line that's going horizontal is a piece of masking tape that I have kind of done like a wiggly line, so it looks like the ocean of the movement of the ocean. And then on the side, I took some masking tape and I just tore the masking tape so it has kind of a jagged edge. Like I said, I didn't want the entire card to be filled with color. I wanted some white space. And so it's basically going to be pretty much in the center of the card with a little bit of space on each side that is white. So the inks that I'm using are Catherine Pooler, and I started from the darkest. So on the bottom I have Daydream, and then I used All That Jazz, and then the lightest color is Fiesta Blue. And I'm leaving a little bit of white space right in the middle of that area so that I can make kind of a reflection for the sun. And so I have moved my masking tape to the top, and I'm just taking the circle that I had in my stash. It happened to be the right size, and I'm going to use that to kind of mask off my sun. And so I'm going in with some Fiesta Blue I don't know what color this is, in yellow. I'm just doing these colors really lightly for the skyline. And so I'm using some blues and some pinks. And then I have my sunline, and I'm going to use that distress ink again. I want to say that's that mustard color. I don't think that it's called mustard, but it's something mustard in distress ink. And I started out using my dauber and then switched over to one of my blending brushes that's a little bit smaller, just to be able to cover that area without having to mask off anything else. And then I am coming in with some of the Catherine Pooler ink Sauna. It's kind of a yellowy orange color, and I'll use that to finish off the sun. And then to make my waves, or my not my waves, to make my somewhat of a reflection on the water, I'm taking a wet paintbrush and I'm basically just moving it back and forth, and I'm trying to go smaller towards the bottom, but I messed up on that and so it does not go smaller, but I think it creates, hopefully it creates the effect that I was going for. So basically I'm just kind of moving some of that water out of that space, and I've taken a paper towel and kind of blotted that up to remove a little bit more of that ink that's on the cardstock. And then I'm going to take some of the yellow that was left over on my when I ink blended, and I'm just going to add a little bit of that into the water to act as a reflection as well. And then once I have my background completed, I'll set that aside to dry. And then I'm going to make a slit for the mermaid tail, and I've embellished it with these Queen & Co. These are the clear, they're like little diamonds. They're super pretty. They come in lots of different colors, but I just glued several of those along the mermaid tail. And next I'm going to create a slit for the tail where I'm going to cut the cardstock, and I wanted to make it look like more natural, I guess, as natural as a mermaid jumping into the water can look. And so I didn't cut the line as a straight line. I kind of cut it a little bit with a curve in it, so that it would look more realistic. And then I took a couple of colored pencils to darken up that area, and I also took a white gel pen to make some white marks around it so it looked like, you know, she was going into the water. And then the sentiment is enjoy all life's simple pleasures, and this is a Phil Martin stamp set called Sentimentally Yours. And then I'll go ahead and put some adhesive on the back side of the cardstock where I can insert my mermaid tail through that and adhere that. And to make the tail more dimensional, I went ahead and popped up the tail at the top with 2 foam dots, and then I glued the rest to the card. And that pretty much is it. I go ahead and adhere the card to my panel, and that will complete the card. Don't forget to click on the link to visit all of the participants in the hop. I hope you'll join me back here tomorrow for the second day. As always, if you like this video or found it informative, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to spend with me, and I'll catch you next time.